the power within each person to affect change outside of them is immense. Immense, immense, immense.
Welcome, Julie, to When We Are Healed. I'm so honored to have you on as our guest. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Rieko, for inviting me. I'm very much looking forward to this conversation with you.
Yes, so I would love to open up this conversation by asking you about your personal journey. How were you drawn to the work of healing? And what has guided you to where you are today?
Okay, that's a good question. And um, I want to take you all the way back to when I was a little kid. And one of a profound memory is my mother's supplement cabinet had two things in it. One was orange flavored chewable vitamin C, which I still hate that flavor to this day. And the other was kelp pills. And I said, Mom, one day, I just remember this, Mom, what are these kelp pills for? She must have been taking them for thyroid or something. I don't know. She said, those might give you a little bit more energy. And I just tucked that in the back of my head. And I remember, like in high school, I'd be like, I need more energy. And I'd go take a kelp pill. My mom didn't know I was doing that. But something opened in me then. I was like, how weird that a pill could like give you energy. I don't know. It's like all I knew was vitamin C and antibiotics probably up to that point. Fast forward, I'm in college. I'm over at a friend's house and she has tea. Do you want to have tea with me? Sure, let's have tea. There's this weird tea called echinacea. And I was like, what's a echinacea? And she said, oh, that helps your immune system. It helps keep you healthy so that you don't get colds and flus. And I was like, what? And then that thing, that kelp thing, opened even more. I was like, there's a thing that can help you in a way that's, again, not vitamin C and antibiotics. And I tucked that away. Get out of college, do my thing. I went to Venezuela to teach English when I was 25 or something. And while I was there, I was having my out of the US experience. I was teaching English, and I was like, this isn't it for me. Like, what do I want to do in life? And so something was like, you want to go deeper. You want to go deeper into something that really matters. Okay, well, whatever that means. Came back from Venezuela, started exploring. I was like, I think it's in the health realm. And I looked at massage and dance therapy and chiropractic and um, so many somatic practices and psychology. I looked at all these different things. My background was in linguistics, by the way, nothing to do with health. And I was like, "Ah, yeah, I want to do one of these things. I just don't want to be a doctor. I do not want to do anything doctor related. So I found naturopathic medicine. And I was like, that's interesting. Too much work. In the meantime, and I will make this a little bit shorter, I had developed an eczema on my hands that was like taking over. I was very miserable. Dermatologist, cortisone, it kept coming back. And I remembered this like, what about that naturopathic thing? I made an appointment at the student teaching clinic. They changed my diet. They gave me specific supplements. And within, I don't know, weeks, a month, the eczema was all gone. It's like, how did that happen? I started eating the wrong diet again. It all came back. I was like, well, what is this? Again, there's like this light bulb going off of healing is something different than what I've understood it to be. So, long story short, or long story longer, I enrolled in naturopathic medicine. I did all my prerequisites. I got to the school and 4-year program, completed it. Um, and so many things were open, like, whoa, natural healing, treating the cause, doctor is teacher, healing power of nature, this thing called the life force energy. In naturopathic medicine, it's called the vis medicatrix naturae, the healing power of nature. These were all totally new concepts to me. And then we learned homeopathy and about energy medicine and, of course, herbal medicine. And so my world blew open in a really, really good way, a little overwhelming. So then I'm working as a naturopath. Then I took a few years off to have my kid and da da da. And when I was going back into the workforce, I didn't want to go right back into having a private practice. And so I started working at this clinic. And prior to that, all of my practice was physical. You have a headache. What are we going to give you? You have digestive stuff. What are we going to do? Diet, supplements, herbs, etc. And then sometimes mental, emotional, but that was just kind of like on the surface. So I'm working at this clinic where my job is to do quick physical exams. That's all I'm doing. Quick history, quick physical exam, 15 minutes with people. So I saw a lot of people. And as they're coming in talking about pain and chronic health conditions and da 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 in these little 15-minute increments, I am learning, or something again is opening up in me that there's a pattern here, that these people who are trying to treat their chronic whatever with, again, physical pills and substances, I was like, there's a theme here. Like almost all of them had something about their emotional state, their trauma history, their their situation, their mindset. Like you could just tell and feel it. So I came out of, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years of working there, and fast forward another couple of years, then I was ready to go back into private practice, and I was like, okay, I am going to focus on mind body healing, whatever that means. Like, and I took a course called Holistic Counseling, which really helps you ask the right questions and go to that place to get to the subconscious with people. Really, really rewarding. And so I try to weave that into every patient encounter that I had. Well, then I kept seeking, seeking resources, seeking new authors to read, new courses to take. Like, how do I expand this? Because it was so valuable to my clients, my patients, but it was also really fulfilling to me. I was like, I think in so many cases, like we're getting deeper, like we're actually healing things that before maybe we weren't. I don't know. Like, I don't have a study or anything to back that up. But okay, COVID hit. Ah, crazy upheaval in the middle of what I would call my awakening during COVID to, oh my goodness, there are so many things going on that I had no clue about. Now, as a naturopath, I was always suspicious of, not always suspicious, but I learned that there are things in the conventional medical system to be suspicious about. Like there are things that are not always in the best interest of people's healing. You know, it's not healthcare, it's sick care. You've heard that. So when COVID hit and I started being like, what is actually going on? A lot of, my finger crossing and I'm sure it's just incompetence, like all that fell away. And I was like, oh, there's something like seriously wrong going on. And we're all being subjected to it. And this notion of freedom, personal freedom, what is freedom? What will you do for freedom? How do you maintain your freedom? Those questions started coming in a way that I had never really thought about before. During COVID, I happened upon a program called Be the Medicine by Kim Duramo. And I'd never heard of her. And I was like, something opened up again. This is the theme, something opened up. And I was like, wow, she's talking about like our electromagnetic bodies. She's talking about how we interact with the cosmos, basically, the universal energy field. Like she's talking about things that are so fascinating and I don't really know that much about, just a basic knowledge. So I went into her course And it's all about practitioner as healer, like be, literally be the medicine, not do the medicine. And I was like, this is so hard for me. It was so hard to grasp. It was like, I need the protocol. I need to know what to do here. Like, how do you get someone to da da da, even with my training? And so her course was challenging for me on a personal level, but opened up so much. And that was 2020, and I knew I was on a whole new path, journey, because what she added to the mind body medicine, what she added to the mental, emotional, aspects of health that I was trying to address, was the consciousness shift, was the our bodies, our beings, our energy field is way more active than our brains. Our heart field is way more powerful and attuned and energetic than our brains. And so coming out of the mind to the how and the what to the being has been, I don't know, what are we on? 5 or 6 year journey from that. And I'm in a much different place now, but yeah, that I feel like that was necessary to be like it started with kelp pills when I was maybe 12. And then little things just have opened up um and now in my healing I'm still doing naturopathic medicine, but I'm also opening like myself to being able to work with everybody, people from all over, not specifically licensed or, residing in Oregon. Um And so instead of medicine and healthcare, it's healing, it's consciousness shifting. And one of the things that I've really grabbed onto is this idea of freedom, this idea of sovereignty. And when a person finds the courage to become sovereign, or to even like 10% more sovereign, what happens with that person's health and life and purpose? And what happens to everybody around them? So I think my purpose is helping the world to heal, like one person at a time, like one person waking up to who they really are, what they're really capable of, having the courage to be that, taking responsibility. Like freedom comes with responsibility. And then how that through our electromagnetic system just emanates out and influences others in a positive way. That was a very long answer.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Yes, 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 yes. And I love that you brought up the word sovereign because it's that word is very much alive in me and those around me right now too. So I'm curious to ask you, Julie, what does sovereignty mean to you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So let's see, what does sovereign mean to me or sovereignty? It's very linked with freedom in all aspects, meaning, you're free from the influence of others, or, I mean, it could be positive or negative influence of others. Like your trust is in yourself. Your knowing and your decision making comes from within you, not from an egotistic place, but really from, the heart center, which is intertwined with your intuition, which is connected to divine source. Like letting that channel be open, which is part of where the courage comes in. Like, what is going to happen if I open that channel? What if I mean, what if I'm so powerful? What if I'm not powerful? Like all the what ifs. But I think that's what sovereignty is it's the freedom from the external effects and the trust in the internal when you're allowing yourself to be connected to something much greater than you.
Mm, wow. That is beautiful. Wow.
Yeah. What would you add to that? May I ask you a question? Like what,
Yeah.
because sovereignty might mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Like what would you add or subtract or yeah, what about you?
Yeah, thank you for the question reflected back to me. Ooh. Yeah, sovereignty to me first is freedom at all levels,
Hmm.
as you've addressed already. The end of victimhood,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
letting go of any idea that I could be a victim of anything, any situation, any other person, anything outside of me. To have full response ability
Mhm.
for my freedom and for my life. And I like saying responsibility instead of responsibility because, for whatever reason, the word responsibility tends to come with a nuance of a little bit, ever so slight heaviness for me of obligation or
Yes.
something thrust upon me without my consent.
Ah,
That's a whole nother conversation in its own. But yes,
yeah. I mean,
response.
that's the connotation, right?
Yeah,
Like you're going to be
it's
responsible for this.
yeah.
But when the responsibility is thrust upon you from yourself, um, I mean, thrust, is it like you're willingly taking responsibility? How does that change it? It's more like I have choice here. I don't have to be responsible for
The
that.
choice.
But I also could be, and I really feel like when we take responsibility for good things happening, bad things happening, our role in things, it leads to so much more like a feeling of power. Not power over, but like empowerment within. Um, yeah,
Empowerment
which also
within.
is connected with freedom. So it's, I totally get what you're saying. Oh, responsibility, it's so heavy. And yet, how do you find the lightness in it? How do you find the, no, this responsibility is actually for me. It's for me and for everyone else because I'm finding the courage to be the leader, to step in and say, I didn't do that, but I'm here to contribute to making it right or, whatever the situation is. And like, does that change for you? Like that feeling of what the word responsibility holds when you
Yes.
think of it that way.
Yeah, and that reminds me of Ho'oponopono too, because
Mm. Yeah.
for listeners who are not familiar, Ho'oponopono is an ancient Hawaiian healing tradition, and in a super short nutshell, the core idea is that whatever shows up in your life is your responsibility to surrender to the divine for healing, to I think Dr. Hugh Land says clean, 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 like clean,
Clean, clean.
clean your consciousness. But if it's showing up in your life matrix, there's also something in your subconscious mind that is being reflected by that. So therefore, we are invited to take responsibility for contributing to the healing of that thing that appears to be outside of ourselves. And so it resonates with me that, yes, me, Rieko, personally might not have created that the situation or the war that's happening over there or this environmental crisis or whatever it is. But because it's showing up in my life, I am here to I'm here to somehow contribute to the healing of it.
Yes.
Yes, and this sounds a little crazy to make sound crazy to some people if they're not familiar with this kind of teaching, but for me it's the only thing that's ever really made sense to me because otherwise I have to identify inevitably as this helpless victim of this strange, cruel, crazy, chaotic world.
Yes.
And that is not empowerment. So to me, daring to take responsibility for everything that's appearing in my world is the ultimate empowerment.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and taking responsibility doesn't mean admitting fault. I mean, I think that's the thing, because people will be like, wait a minute, you're saying that this is my fault that there's that war, or that I'm sick, or that those people are fighting each other in the street, or that, the garbage heap is growing. Like, how can I, if I take responsibility, that's me saying it's my fault that I did that, and I didn't. No, no, no. Like, I love how you're explaining it because it's, Dr. Hugh Lin also says there's no out there. It's all in here. So if you're aware of something, it's not because you happened upon it and you saw it. It's because there's something in you that matches that frequency. There's something in you that allows you to see that or to know it because whether you've got the same exact situation inside of you, you have a frequency that matches it. And he also says that doesn't have to be your own personal thing. That can be a pattern that goes through humanity. What does he call them? He calls them, oh, it's not pattern. It's like, I can't remember what he calls it. But it's like an energy problem that millions of people have. And so millions of other people reflect it or feel it or it lights something up in them. That's our electromagnetic systems interacting with each other, even like across time and distance. So yeah, so knowing that it's all in here. If I see something and it affects me, or I'm like, that's not right, then like you said, I can complain. I can be like, gosh, the world is so negative. When are humans going to learn? And that does reinforce the victim mentality. It reinforces the all the humans are bad, and like whenever everyone gets it together, when we vote the right person in, then, maybe we'll make some progress. But when you can say, oh, I feel that. And so it's not my fault, but I'm going to do something right here and now. And like you said, when you surrender it or give it over to the divine, when you invite the divine in to shine a light on that, icky ick going on over there. And what can I do to take responsibility? I intentionally invite the divine presence into my field and say, I don't want to spoil it, the four phrases. You can say it if you want, but the Ho'oponopono phrases, and that in and of itself, like they each carry a frequency, they each carry an energy that helps clean or clear or reduce the patterning across all human consciousness. I mean, again, it's like, really, me sitting here at my desk can do anything about any of that? But it's true. It's so like that's the whole thing that not whole thing, but that's one of the things that I was really, open up to in the last 5 years is the power within each person to affect change outside of them is immense, 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 immense. And it's like
Yes.
if that isn't the most hopeful thing that you've ever heard, then I don't know what. Off the stage. No, I'm kidding. For me, that's one of the most hopeful things I've ever heard because it takes it out of the realm of uh Republican versus Democrat, like all the duality, like that country versus this country, race for this race versus that race, like man versus woman, like all that duality that we're always like fighting, fighting, fighting. When you're like, oh, what if I just met it all with love? What if I just gave that duality, or not gave it, but invited that duality into the light of the divine? It's freedom. Like I become free of the burden of, I don't know, witnessing it, bearing it, believing that it's true. Like I really think we've been, see, here's a little bit of a victim statement. We've been misled. We've been told that we're dual. Well, sure, maybe we've been told that, but I'm aware of that. So how do I take that in and say, I bought into the duality. Let me take responsibility. Let me do something about my own limitation. How? My mind, how? How do I do anything about it? Let the heart speak, right? Let the heart speak. Of course, I bought into this. I'm just a human. But I get, okay, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. Like those phrases can change so much. Anyhow, okay, I jumped on your
Yes.
Ho'oponopono
Yes,
explanation.
yes, yes. No, and for those of you who are new to Ho'oponopono, what Julie just said are the four phrases, four famous phrases of the the main prayer of Ho'oponopono. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I didn't even know that we're going to talk about Ho'oponopono today.
Neither.
This is so cool. And oh, I feel called to share this story for those of you who are new to this. So, Dr. Hugh Len, who was a teacher who, well, I don't think he wrote the book, but Joe Vitale was his name, who interviewed him and followed him around and wrote a book called Zero Limits about Dr. Hewlin's work. And so the famous story goes that he was assigned to, was it a mental institution
Yes.
somewhere that had a really intense patients suffering
Yeah, it was
from, yeah,
was a mental institution for criminals.
criminals. That's right.
Yeah, they had criminal records and mental diagnoses. So it's even
Yeah.
like more intense.
And Dr. Hewlin didn't even show up to work, apparently. Or maybe he did, but every once in a while. But he sat and looked through the patient records and said these magic four words, did Ho'oponopono. And without him lifting a finger,
Mhm.
the patients healed, the staff members healed, the building got renovated,
Mm. And he
and
cleared all the patients out over a
he
matter of
cleared
years.
all the, yeah. Anyway, for more details, please read their book, Zero Limits. But the point Julie and I are addressing, I think, is that each one of us has that incredible power to radiate, affect, amplify healing that ripples
Mm.
out in ways beyond what we've been told is possible.
Mm-hmm.
in ways that cannot be explained by the laws of Newtonian physics,
Mm-hmm.
in ways that can be almost instantaneous. It can look like a miracle only because we haven't, we've been operating at a certain frequency where that looks like a miracle, like a rare
Yeah.
magical occasion. But that is actually how we're meant to operate.
Yeah. Yes. That's the capacity we all have within us. I mean, I don't know if that, I think part of it is we only use, 5% of our brains, and the rest of it's like kind of just uncharted territory. But yeah, we're not taught, we're not raised, or we haven't been thus far. I feel like this is shifting. Like you mentioned the new era of humanity, of consciousness, of medicine coming in. And yes, it's like it's in the stars. I don't know, like all the eclectics and the gurus and whoever mystics talk about it. Maybe the psychics, I don't know. And then it's in scripture. Like, I don't know. It feels like it's pretty well represented. Um, what was I going to say about the new era? Where do we just come from?
Miracles being a natural
Oh,
occurrence
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in
Our
truth.
capacity, like our capacity. Oh, we haven't been taught how to do that. We haven't been raised like to know that we have any powers other than I've got a rational mind and I need to take care of my body basically, and every now and then I have emotions and okay, I go to church. I feel like that is going to be changing. The kids that are being born now are more spiritually primed than any of us were. And I think that's going to keep getting more and more and more attuned as the vastness of humanity starts to shift in that direction. So it's very possible that the kids being born today in the next 10, 20, 30, 50 years are going to be raised with knowing that about themselves. Wow! Like, what is that going to do? Like, just knowing it's like on the playground. Like we know what we can do. We know how powerful we are. And having the knowledge that other people can see them too. Like we kind of, have been taught or we believe like I'm this isolated person that nobody can see what I'm like no one knows what I'm thinking. No one can like get in there. But that's the other another part of it is that there is this ability that we have when we kind of let go of a lot of stuff to read each other's energy, to know what each other is thinking, like that nonverbal or what do they call it? Just intuitive communication. I think that's all coming. Like that's the capacity of the human being. So kids in 50 years, if they're on the playground, they're like, oh, I can't say mean things to little Johnny because because little Johnny knows what I'm thinking. And so we'll automatically change our thoughts and change our emotions and change our energy in order to keep harmony, in order to, keep community. So I think that's the new era coming in as well, is more
Yeah.
community and less um, not necessarily less individuality, because I think that's still important, but it's less like, what's in it for me? Like, I'm separate. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And it's reminding me of the telepathy tapes
Oh,
that I
yeah.
know a lot of my friends are really into of research on nonverbal autistic kids and how they're communicating telepathically.
Mhm.
Or I'm remembering my friend Valerie Robinson telling me about her experience at this event called the Confluence, which was, I think, in Austin.
Mhm.
Of all of these, like leaders, teachers of holistic medicine, wellness, health, gathering together. And there were workshops like teaching kids how to like read blindfolded and it's a thing, meaning this is not just in sci-fi. This is reality, like 2026, and it is already happening.
Hmm.
And I think it's really, really exciting, like what you were describing, the possibilities, what becomes possible for the entire collective when we allow ourselves to awaken, nurture those innate
Hmm.
abilities. And I think those abilities of communicating telepathically or telekinesis or the things that are used to be thought of as this like special talent or magic or ESP, whatever, is I really believe is a natural result of awakening to the oneness and interconnectedness of all things. That it is the connection becomes possible because the connection was already there and we're simply like waking up to it.
Yes.
And it's not, and it cannot come from a place of self-serving or that power can only blossom when there is an awareness of connection to all things and all beings, I think.
Interesting.
Because then that would those abilities could easily be then go the kind of like a sci-fi route where where people use those abilities to fight each other.
To fight each other?
Yeah, to do psychic wars and
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know uh use telekinetic abilities to throw things at people. Whatever, like the sci-fi world can easily, or depending on the consciousness, any
Yeah.
ability could be harnessed and used in ways that can cause harm. But that was a that was a little bit of a digression. But all I wanted to actually emphasize was that I think the clairvoyance, the intuitive, seemingly
Hmm.
supernatural abilities is probably the natural result of our consciousness waking up more and more to the oneness and interconnectedness of all things.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I do
Yeah.
agree with that. That there's like the abilities that are there. They've been there. And we know like throughout the centuries and millennia, there have always been the psychics and the readers and the mystics and the people who could unfortunately they called them witches and like didn't trust them and burned them and whatnot, but there were the people who had those abilities more available. But my understanding is those abilities are available in all of us. And maybe one of the ways that we um, are more familiar with experiencing it is our intuition. And even that might be tricky for some, but like a gut feeling. Probably everyone has had at one point in their life just the sudden knowledge that, that's not right, or I shouldn't do that, or I got to get out of here, or this is really good for me, or, whatever's coming in. So that's all in the same basket. And so the more that you say it, like, hey, you actually got this capacity. Do you want to use it? Do you want to look at that? And yeah, more people are waking up. More people are saying yes. More people are like, it's not even woo woo anymore. Maybe in some circles, I don't know. But yeah, even the phrase woo woo seems like, I don't know. Like it represents more of what we know as opposed to more of like the cuckoo um, that only the cuckoos talk about. Of course, they were way ahead of their time. But
Yeah. Oh, so Julie, I'm so curious to hear now. Are you noticing the shift in in awareness or consciousness amongst the people that you work with in your healing practice compared to, let's say, when you first started a naturopathic practice of the openness to your mind body approach or how they the level of self awareness they have about their own emotional state or
Hmm.
effects of trauma, that sort of thing.
Yes, yes to all of it. And not across the board, not 100%. I mean, I don't even know what percent, but yeah, some of the things that I might bring up or talk about in a one-on-one encounter these days would have been, I don't even know what the word is, would have been unacceptable or would not have been received when I started. It's been 25 years now. And I don't know if that's a change in the collective or if that's a change in me. And then there's a part of me that's saying there's no difference. Like as I change, the collective changes. As it changes, I change. And that's, again, back to the mirror of there's really nothing happening out there that's not happening in here too. So, yeah. So, yes, all of it. People are more open to talking about the divine, more open to talking about energy, more aware that traumatic events have shaped them. But also, and even more importantly, is they're more aware that that doesn't define them, that there is like there's another side of my history. There's another side of things that happened to me because that's devastating for, a lot of people. I mean, a lot of us have had really terrible things happen, but for that to define you for your whole life and to be held like in that, again, it's a kind of a victimhood, not that the person caused the thing to happen to them, but the holding it in their identity, in their bodies. So and the field of psychology has done a lot with this as well as the field of somatics and energy work, etc. It's like, what is beyond it? What is possible in healing? So huge shifts in that realm. Um, yeah. And again, is it me or is it the collective?
Yeah, you are the collective.
I am the collective.
And I'm so curious to hear if there's any examples you can share of someone who came to you with whatever symptom or chief complaint where the this beautiful mind body approach that you bring to it was particularly helpful to them and helped them shift something.
um, I mean, yes, yes, yes. And what's interesting is it's in so many different degrees and not always the one that, like the goal, right? Like the person that comes with XYZ symptom and it's like, okay, well, let's like figure out what's going on in the heart and the mind and, how is that translating down to the body? Sometimes the symptom continues. And, oh, are we failing? Like, oh, it's not working. But yet, all these other things in their being, in their system, maybe in their life is changing. And so, this is a really hard one for me. It's like, get out of the way. It's not you. You're not doing this. You don't get to dictate. You don't get to say, like, here's the order we'd like things to heal in. I mean, me and the client are like, we've got our priorities, but let's go back to what we've been talking about. Like the healing isn't coming from me. The person's doing their own healing, but it's like that life force energy that I talked about. That's coming in. Where's that coming from? It's coming from the universal energy field, the divine. God, like it does not matter what you call it. It's coming in. That's what's doing the healing. And it might have a completely different set of priorities. Like maybe the person wants their arthritis to heal because, I mean, they're suffering, they're in pain. Of course, we get that. But maybe what's more important that nobody can see is that they heal, like, I don't know, their diminishment of themselves. They heal their, um, I don't know, a relationship with someone close, a parent or a child or a spouse or something. Um, yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, I don't really, a specific example isn't really popping in, but, I always love the stories of the person came with this, we had a conversation, they were like, oh, and then everything healed within 5 minutes, and then it never came back. I don't think I've ever had an experience like that. And so for a long time, I was like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? But I'm learning to trust. And when I'm working with people, it's more of a longer process, it seems. It's more of an unfolding. It's more of I won't say more depth because the other thing's a depth as well, but I think it's my own surrender to it's not me. Like this goes back to like, how do you do it? What am I supposed to do? Like I'm trained, I should be able to heal people. That's probably one of the lessons in my life is gotta let go of that, show up, trust, and be present, facilitate. Of course, I do all that. So let's see, am I answering your question in a way?
Yes,
I don't
yes,
really
yes.
necessarily have a specific person that's coming up that I can tell you their story.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that I've seen in many, many people dramatic shifts in their view of themselves, in their ability to, you know, like navigate their lives, in their trust in their own life, in their own path. Um, for sure, things like anxiety and depression and some of the mental health things, like I see lift. I see people becoming just calmer in their nervous systems, more regulated and able to respond to things. I mean, the crap in life never stops, but how we respond to it can change significantly. Um, and I might say for my own, like my own healing or my own journey, um, I was having this thought the other, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago is like, since I've started doing all this work, like what's actually changed in my life? And I'm looking for everything external. Have I become healthier? Have I become richer? Have I become, do I have better relationships with my family? Do I have blah, 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 blah. And I was like, whoa, no, nothing's really changed. Like all this time and resource. And then I said, okay, shut your eyes, take a breath. What's actually shifted? Like look back 3 years, look back 5 years, look back 10, 20 years. And when I allowed myself to be quiet, it just came in. Wow, I'm more curious. I'm more tolerant. I'm more um, resilient. I'm more willing. I'm more, and like I can give an example of all these. I won't, but I'm stronger in so many ways. I'm so much more willing and ready to speak up. Not necessarily only when something like, oh, I don't agree with that, that's going wrong, but in so many ways. Like there have been massive shifts inside of me. And it's like, what is healing? Like, sure, I'd love my bank account to, show like $900,000. That'd be awesome. And I'd love for like every health, whatever, to just go away. And yet, maybe those aren't the important things. Maybe the presence of those, challenges is okay and perfect for everything else in my quote healing journey. Like I didn't set out to become more courageous. I didn't set out to become a leader in anything. But yet that's what's coming through anyhow, and a lot of other things.
Yes. Oh,
So
that's so beautiful, Julie. And I resonate with that so much myself too.
Yeah.
Those are the changes I've seen in myself too. And yep, the mind can say all kinds of things about what hasn't or hasn't changed in the external, but wow, that internal shift really is everything. And thank you for helping me remember that just now. Ooh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And isn't, I mean, I don't know. What is healing? It's everything about a human being to get them to, I mean, where are we trying to get to? True self, remembering what we really are, who we really are, that divine spark, the freedom that cannot be taken away. Like that's the birthright. Like, isn't that what healing is? And so if I think my, I don't know, blood work needs to be healed, like I need to normalize that and then I'll be healthy. Whoa, what am I leaving on the table? Like there's all the other things. Like that's not going to make me more sovereign. So again, this is out of my hands. It's out of your hands. We show up, we do the work, we have the courage, we're willing to open and receive, and then whatever comes in, accept with love. So,
Yes. Mic drop. Bing. Oh, thank you so much, Julie. Oh, wow. This conversation's been really lighting me up. And I want to ask you, how can people find you? Get in touch with
ah,
you.
yeah. So, probably the best way. Well, there's two. Okay, let me just say it. I have a presence on Substack. It would be substack.com at Awake Woman, and that's Awake Woman with Julie. So writing, I'm gonna start podcasting or at least doing some audio on there, and in the works for June, if not before, is to start a community, and where there will be a lot more of I don't know, resources, practices, information, my story, other people's stories. Like, how do we come together and heal together, do this work together, advance ourselves so that we advance the world together? So that's Substack at Awake Woman. And then I have a website, laughinglight.com, which is my business, Laughing Light Healing. And that is where you can work with me one on one. And, there will be other opportunities there as well as I develop groups and, other things. So, yeah, you can also sign up for my email list there. Um, but yeah, I welcome you into my community, and a lot of my uh, verbiage is geared toward women, especially women in midlife. But there's room and openness for everyone. So, don't get scared away. If you're a man who's resonating with this and then saying, "Oh, it's just for women," no, there's room for everyone. So,
Yay. Oh, thank you so much. The time just flew by. Thank you again for joining us tonight. And I would like to say a little prayer to close.
okay.
And I will put all the links that you mentioned in the show notes. So those of you who are listening can get in touch with Julie through those links. Working with Julie 101 is a magical, potent experience. I've experienced it myself multiple times. I'm just so grateful for you, Julie. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Before you launch into the prayer, thank you, Rieko. The space that you're creating here, that you're holding and inviting people into, I don't know if you realize like how powerful it is, how touching it is, how comfortable it is. And so, being invited here to show up and just be myself and say whatever comes is, of course, I was nervous at first, but is like literally it's a godsend. It's like what is one of the things that I encourage in everyone and have, encouraged in myself is to be yourself, express yourself, be your true self. So I just want to thank you for having this container for exactly that. So your work is huge, and I deeply appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh,
Mhm.
I'm tearing up. Oh, thank you so much. Wow, I'm receiving that. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. So I'll take this gratitude straight into this prayer. Oh, of so much gratitude, this beautiful sparkly energy that I feel tingling all over my body. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Julie, for your courage, for your openness, your willingness, the wisdom and inspiration that flows through you, that comes through you. The conversation that we shared today, however way it lands in those who are listening, is perfect. And we simply trust that this transmission, this message, this episode is being carried to anyone and everyone who is open and ready to receive it. That whatever the effects may seem on the surface, the healing that's happening, the sovereignty that's arising is way, way, way deeper and all reaching than it can meet the eye. And so I am so grateful and excited for the dawn of this new age where each and every one of us get to reconnect with our innate freedom and sovereignty that can never be taken away by anything outside of us, and to awaken to the oneness and interconnectedness of all things and all beings. A new world we can create based on love and harmony and collaboration and mutual respect and honoring. As we gently release, say goodbye and thank you to all the centuries, millennia of conflict and war and victim consciousness. We're so grateful that we get to be alive in this very momentous time to witness, to shepherd, to participate, to contribute to this seismic shift that's happening in the collective. And we welcome it with open arms, with curiosity and openness, knowing that it's okay for us to not know the how. We, each of us, courageously take one baby step at a time, saying yes to what lights us up, saying yes to what feels like an opening, saying yes to connecting from the heart. Everything else is in the hands of the divine, and we simply choose to trust that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We let it be, and so it is.
And so it is. Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Julie.
Oh, thank you, Rieko.
If you enjoyed this episode, I invite you to come check out our Substack at whenwearehealed.com, where you can subscribe to keep in touch and get show notes emailed to you. Sending you lots of love, and I'll see you in the next episode.